Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I just want to talk about ambient occlusion and a new technique that I've learned, which is very fast, very quick, and ultimately a lot less effort than individually lasso tooling and ambient occlusioning and all that. So first off, this is a piece here that I've been working on sort of in the first half, maybe a little bit more than that in terms of completion. But anyway, let's get rid of these gradient maps. Alright. Let's clear everything else off and just show the lines here. So what I've done is this is the sketch by the way, I've done a line art, and this is just a flats layer here. This is my line art, all the cross hatching, soft hatching, gradient. That's all done. All right, now here's the big thing. Here's the thing that I'm excited to show you. Right, is I duplicated this layer here, which is now this one here, and I have used Gaussian blur about 3-4% on the duplicate layer. Now what this does is this sort of adds this sort of instant ambient occlusion already in just a simple press of a button. Now you can go even further than this and have another layer with multiply, full black, opacity around 30%. Alright? And then what I do is I just erase, I'll show you just here. I just erase the black, basically. It's just, if I send this to full opacity, this is full black. Right? This takes a fraction of the time than what it would with a lasso tool and all that, right? So automatically this is starting to look kind of 3D without even trying to, right? Let's get rid of this. This is what it looks like without the duplicate line layer. Alright, now you can go even further than this. If you're wanting a really realistic, sort of semi-realistic, high fantasy, realism, whatever, right? You can go even further than this. You can change this layer to around what, 30%. All right. Now look here. You can see the darks are pretty dark. The lights are pretty good values. From here, this beard already looks fairly complete. Just a few touch up things, maybe look dark around the eyes here. From here, you've already got, look at these contrasts. This is a fraction of the effort what it would normally take in about half the time. Maybe you make this bit darker, whatever. You know what I mean? It's high, what do you call it? It's very little effort for a lot of work done. And then you can obviously use your gradient maps and whatnot. Gradient maps aren't really adjusted for this kind of thing. I'm not doing this in the final image, but if I wanted to go even further than in realism than what I usually do, this is how I would do it. Alright? You've got a wonderful contrast of darks, lights, and greys already. Matters what kind of image you're wanting to create. Like if you know from the very start you're going to create a more realistic type image, then maybe you wouldn't spend so much effort on the line art like I have. Let me just fix that. Whereas in mine, I'm somewhere in between. I like a little bit of line art included in the final version. You know, and then obviously the line art itself obviously takes a bit of time as well. But if you wanted to, you just, I'm someone that needs line. I need to make lines, so I can't just paint from silhouettes and whatnot. Whereas if you're somewhere intermediate or even slightly advanced, you can just bump out a quick line art. Not anywhere near as not anywhere near as detailed or as me, but you could very quickly add these ambient occlusion shadows without even trying. So there's another thing as well. I also added an extra ambient occlusion. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just a little bit darker in the areas that I want to be dark, and that's about it. And then that's the final, more or less, almost. You need to fix up a few things, maybe push and pull back a few things, but that's more or less it. Anyway, I just wanted to share that quick tip. Hopefully you got something out of this. This is a technique I sort of saw in a Mark Brene video, but I realized there's a little bit more to it than just doing the typical line art. And this is something I'm going to include a lot more in my future pieces and whatnot. Anyway, I hope this helps. See yous.